All right, well, realized I have a light up here. Oh, that looks a lot better. At least I think so. Anyways, y'all can let me know. So, what we're gonna talk about tonight though is the biggest challenge I've ever undertaken. So, I've been, excuse me, I've been running for about the past year and a half now, and my running journey as far as like running for fitness and stuff started with an ultra marathon. Now an ultra marathon is anything over 26.2 miles, the traditional marathon distance. So anything over that is an ultra marathon. This is a weighted vest from GoRuck. I have two 10-pound plates for a total of 20 pounds. I had a attempt that I was gonna make, and I made it back in August. Yeah, that was last month because it's September now. I made it back in August, and I was an unofficial attempt. I do have an approved application through Guinness Book of World Records, but I have not yet set that up to where I can actually validate the record. It's to break a record that takes 24 hours, takes a lot of people to actually validate it without inviting an adjudicator. So I went out to the Angry Owl Ultra Marathons in Salem, Oregon, and they have a couple of different distances or times, but basically it's a 1 mile loop, and the race I was running was the 24-hour race.
All right, so just a detail, so sorry for interrupting. The Angry Owl Ultra Marathons is a 24-hour race where you run a 1 mile loop as many times as you can in 24 hours. So it's just however far you can run in 24 hours. All right, back to the video.
And in that, I was gonna wear the vest the entire time. So I had some friends running that race, which definitely helped having people out there. My wife came and walked a couple of laps with me because by the time she came out to hang out with me for a little bit, I was walking because I was moving very slowly. I didn't train nearly enough for what I was trying to do. Now, the current record stands at about between 90 and 91 miles. My goal was to break it and go 100 miles. So throughout the day, during my attempt, it became very evident around mile 30 that I was severely undertrained for what I was doing. And I knew that going into the race, that I was not adequately trained to do what I wanted to do. So had a lot of emotional ups and downs, was well on pace for about the first 25 miles, which theoretically is a fairly not easy thing to do, but it was a good pace to hang on to. But slowly but surely as the day went on, I severely fell off of the world record breaking pace. I had friends out there who were pulling me along, who were cheering me on, trying to keep me moving. But it got to the point that my body was not wanting to continue, nor was my mind. I was able to push on for about 16 hours. I was out there for about 16 hours and ended up going about 50 miles. The last few laps that I completed took probably about half an hour each lap, and I ended up sleeping quite a bit at about hour 16. So at about hour 16, I lay down for a while, and vest is off, shoes are off. I'm just trying to recoup and just go as far as I possibly can. And so I lay down for a while, and I wake up, and as I wake up, trying to decide what it is that I want to do. And I think I've been laying there for about an hour or so. And so I wake up, my buddy has completed a couple more laps, or quite a few more laps by that point. And he's like, "Hey, how you feeling?" I said, "I'm not sure. Let me see if I can get up." So I stand up, and the setting of this is it's in Bush Park in Salem, Oregon. And so we're kind of set up off this walking path. We got kind of a home base there. And so I get up off the ground. I'm kind of, on my knees, trying to kind of see how I'm feeling, getting a little lightheaded. I stand up, and I feel like I'm gonna puke. So I stand up, and I'm like, oh man, if I'm gonna puke, I need to walk away from our home base and do this out in the field. So I walk out into this field area that's kind of next to where we're at in this park. And as I'm standing there, all I can remember is kind of hearing a couple thumping sounds and waking up on my back, laying in this field. By this time, it's like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And I wake up and I'm kind of looking around, trying to figure out exactly what happened. It then occurred to me that I just passed out. My friends, who were about 30 feet away from me, look over and didn't see exactly what happened, but they're like, "What are you doing laying out in the field?" They're like, "Get back over here and lay down." So I went back and laid back down and ended up falling asleep for about 3 hours. So I go lay back down and fall asleep for about 3 hours. Wake up, and I was like, okay, let's go see if we can get a few more laps. So similar series of events. I stood up and I had severe pain behind my knee. My leg, I couldn't fully extend my leg. That muscle behind there was just far too tight. And my right foot, I couldn't tell if it was muscle related or if I had like created a stress fracture, and it was incredibly painful to move even without the 20-pound vest. It was at that point at about 4 a.m. That I decided to take off my timing chips, walk over to the start finish line and turn them in, and officially pull myself out of the race at about 19 and a half hours. Now my actual moving time was somewhere closer to about 16 and a half hours, where I completed 53 miles. But I hadn't stopped my watch yet. I hadn't officially pulled out of the race. So my time ended up being about 19 and a half hours. It's an adventure that I do want to continue. And, but right now with where I stand as far as where I'm at in life at the moment, it's been really hard to train. It's been really hard to find the time to, train and maintain the level of fitness that's required to do what it is that I want to do. It is still a goal that I strive to achieve. So that's my encouragement to you. In this time, in this season of life where I'm incredibly busy and trying to find time for things that are important, not necessarily like me breaking a world record is of utmost importance right now. I think providing for my family and taking care of my family is of utmost importance. But the reason I bring this all up is regardless of what it is that you have going on in life, try to carve out time for your physical health. And that's something I'm looking in the mirror as I say this. Try to carve out time for your physical health. Whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't matter. Something is better than nothing. So ideally, tomorrow's vlog will be starting out with me getting up before work early enough to where I can get a 20-minute run, jog, workout, yoga session. I don't care what it is, something. 20 minutes to work on myself physically, because if your physical health is in check, then your mental health follows shortly after. So I have a lot more stories to tell, and I plan on telling those. Homework: carve out 20 minutes to go for a walk, to go for a run, to do a workout, to stretch in the morning before you start your day. And then follow that up with your spiritual health. Carving that time out for your physical and spiritual health is so important. And we all are so busy and can get caught up in what it is we feel like is important at that moment. But it's so easy to push off the things that are actually of utmost importance. So again, looking in the mirror when I say all of this, that's going to be incorporated into the vlog very soon, because that's actually what I originally started. That was my original intention with this vlog, is to have it really surround fitness and running. And I haven't done hardly any of that. I think I've gone for a 2-mile run since I've started this vlog. So all that being said, God bless everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.